Beijing's sudden rollback of its COVID restrictions across mainland China is now causing a new set of economic challenges. Yahoo Finance senior healthcare reporter Anjalee Khemlani has been following this closely. Anjalee.
That's right, Brian. So we know, of course, that China rolled back a lot of its restrictions, including lockdowns of neighborhoods and cities. And what that has resulted in is, not unexpectedly, a labor shortage in a lot of locations, not being able to mitigate the transmission in areas. Though, to be fair, China is also facing a very transmissive Omicron subvariant right now. And so all of that put together really leads to the tale of really what we saw here in the U.S. some time back. And it could spell trouble for the winter ahead for China as they're looking at the potential of yet another wave. They've already sort of been in the middle of one. We saw cases rise, but with the reduction of tests and testing sites, but the increase of fever clinics, there's some guesswork as to actually how many cases they are currently seeing and what the severity is as of right now. So keeping an eye on that. Meanwhile, of course, keeping a track of all the vaccine information here in the U.S., Pfizer just got fast track approval for its COVID and flu combo vaccine. And that is compared to Moderna and Novavax, also in the race for similar ones. Novavax said it should be also applying for fast track approval later on. Moderna unclear yet. So it's going to be interesting. We might have, yet another COVID vaccine race.
Interesting. And also interesting, Anjalee, tracking shares of Guardant Health, not a name we usually talk about here, but down about 30% or so here.
That's right. So Guardant Health, they are developing a colorectal blood cancer test. And the results that came out were just shy of what analysts were expecting. They were looking at an 85% sensitivity. By comparison, the result came out as 83%. Now, I'd like to point out that there's another one that JPM pointed to, which has already on the market, already got FDA approval with 68% sensitivity. So if you do, a comparison side by side, there is potential still for it's on the market. And we know, of course, Exact Sciences is another one in the race. Their share shot up as a result of the underwhelming results here. But they also, they're looking at a much higher sensitivity rating in the 90s. So by comparison, they're sort of betting on which one has the best sensitivity. And the important part about that is basically how many times it could possibly give a false positive. That's sort of how you look at it, and how many times it gives the right, the right answer. We learned a lot about this with COVID tests, as you remember with the at-home test. So that's where the focus is right now.
All right, Name, we will continue to track here. Anjalee, thanks so much.